What I'm about to say is something very serious, and today I don't intend to speak for that long, but I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say, especially if you are doing a 9 to 5. I want you to come closer. Most employees will never prosper. You heard me right. Most people doing a 9 to 5, they will never prosper and do well in life. Now, this is the reason. Listen to what I'm about to say. The simple reason is this: God is a God of agreements, and God is a God that monitors agreements. There's a scripture in Malachi. The men were wondering, why were they not prospering? Why weren't they doing well? When they went into the place of prayers, God told them, the reason is because you are not treating your wife well. And God said to them, I was there when you had an agreement, when you entered into a covenant with your wife. You made her a promise you were going to treat her well. Now she has become your wife. He says you are dealing with her treacherously. It's the same thing when it comes to your engagement in the workplace. When you are given an offer letter, the organization and the employer already told you this is what is expected of you. I expect you to resume at this time. I expect you to get this done. I expect you to get XYZ done. All right, at the end of the month. And as a result of getting XYZ done, you are going to be paid X amount. Now, if you are so blessed to be working with a faithful employer, all right, faithful in paying your salary, faithful in keeping to their own side of agreement, when it's time to get paid, you get paid. They never default on your payment. But guess what? You keep defaulting. You don't get XYZ done that you have agreed that you will get done. You deliver late. You show up late. You leave early. Guess what? You will never prosper. I don't care how much you go to church. I don't care who is laying hands on you. And you see, the employer doesn't even have to know. The employer doesn't have to be aware, because God is a God that monitors agreement and covenant. If the employer is playing his own part and you are not playing your own part, you get to work, you're on social media, you get to work, you are using the company's internet for your own personal aggrandizement, you're using it to advance your own cause, not the reason why the organization got those resources. You're doing things your own way. I want to say it again, you will never prosper. Prosperity is not earning a lot. Prosperity simply means you will always have more than enough. And you say not to prosper simply means you will always come short. You may even be earning millions, but guess what? At the end of the month, you will realize that the money and the resources will not just be enough. Your needs will become greater than your resources, than your supplies. And remember, your needs are not just financial. You have emotional needs, you have social needs, but you just realize that you are in a constant state of need, lack, and insufficiency. You see, the only way to switch that, I always say this humorously, all right, and I mean it, that most civil servants never prosper. And go check it. It's very simple. The reason is this: when you check most civil servants, they get to work when they like. And when they even show up at work, they get to work selling their own things. They don't pay attention to the reason why they were hired. Because somewhere at the back of their mind, they believe government employ them, and government is not a person. Government is not an individual. I've even seen some foolish people who say things like, even my boss does not come in at the time that they expect all of us to come in. There is nothing that can be as foolish as that statement, because for the average employer of labor, oftentimes the work that is required to pay the bills of the organization is not done in the office. Sometimes they have to be on the road. Sometimes they have to be out there. And sometimes the fact that they are not yet in the office doesn't mean they are not actually working outside of the office. Outside of the office. My encouragement to you today, if you are a 9 to 5 person and you want to prosper, all right, is either you resign from where you're working if you know you can't be faithful there, or you decide to do a U-turn and begin to align yourself with what you agreed you were going to do when you were hired for the job. Remember, your boss doesn't have to see you. You don't have to be monitored through CCTV. The God of Sabaoth, the same way God also fights employers who are unfaithful to their employees playing their part, that same God also fights employees who are unfaithful to the boss and the employers that are faithful to them. Whatever it is that you have agreed to do in your place of engagement, and sometimes it also applies to business people, all right? You were paid for a job. You told the customers you are going to use this quality of materials, but after you got paid, you used inferior materials. You started creating problems for the clients. All right, after they had paid you, you thought you were smart. You have made a lot of profit. Guess what? You may have made a lot of profit, but it won't show in your life. And your business will eventually go down. Why? God is a God of agreement. God monitors agreement. It doesn't just monitor the agreement and the covenant that takes place in marriage. It monitors the agreement and covenant that takes place in every area of life. What have you promised you're going to do? If you're not going to do it, don't pick up that job. If you're not going to do it, don't sign that contract. If you made up your mind, if you promised that you were going to do the job, then get the job done. The workplace is not a place of fun. The workplace is a place of productive engagement. It's not a place of fraternity. You fraternize, haven't gotten the job done. If you have not gotten the job done, there is no reason to be fraternizing with other colleagues. You see, something brought you together. It's called work. The question is, are you getting the work done? It's very important to think about this. Really, really think about it. Really, really think about it. Now, if you don't want to prosper in life and destiny, you don't have to think about it. In fact, you don't have to share this video. But if you know this really said something to you, you got something out of this, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, send it as a broadcast, put it on your status, tell as many people as you can. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button right now and the bell notification. More videos like this are dropping every day all through this year. Your life can never remain the same. And remember, it's not the hearer that prospers, it is the one that does something with what they have heard. I love you. I celebrate you. God bless you. Have a great day.